Right then, it is time to finish a bike that is probably taking me almost a year, over a year to get to this point. And spoiler alert, we finish it in this video, but then I need to then do some more stuff on it, probably next week. So I kind of finish it today. Last week's video, we prepped the frame. Usually when I prep my frames, we're talking T-cut, polish, making them look as new as possible. But because I had a stuck seat post in this frame, and I burnt the hell out of it with a blowtorch, I kind of decided to kind of keep the theme and mess up the paint in other places as well. We also got the disc brake conversion done on this frame, so that was raw anyway, so I kind of matched it across the bike, put some new decals on it and set them on fire as well, so pretty cool stuff. We ended that video with me deciding whether I should try and protect the frame, especially those raw bits that I've kind of exposed now, and I decided I wasn't going to, but in between the end of that shot and then the first shot that we're going to look at now, is I decided to use some essentially some silicone spray across the frame, one to kind of protect the frame from dirt and mud anyway when you're riding out and about in it, but I figured that might also help the metal a little bit, kind of like it's basically this type of, well, silicone, it's like an oil, isn't it, of some sort. I don't really know what it is. In my head it just makes sense to try and do something like that to protect the frame, so that's what we've done. Fast forwarding up to today and what we're doing in this video, we need to build it up, so we'll start the headset and go from there. I'm going for a bit of a purple theme on this bike, and when I say a purple theme, I'm starting with purple and then I kind of change my mind as I go along. So the headset I'm using is this one here from Medium Atelier. The Crown Race for this headset is one of the ones that's got a little split in it. The bearings are sealed, so you don't need like a track necessarily, you just need something to sit on, which is handy because I do change the fork on this bike in the next video, which is another big spoiler. Headset and stem, well, stem, sorry, not headset, and bar is going to be race face. This little on-one tool top cap I've wanted to put on a bike for ages, and I finally done it. It looks sick. I'm not psyched about the pink spacers and some of the hardware right now, but we will change that shortly. But let's get onto these wheels, because these tires unfortunately are too big. Only slightly, but too big. Just like that, we've got some new tires. Although, I'm sure we've all done it before. You get your new tire on your wheel and you do one of those and you catch it. Well, I did that on the back one as well, and the hub's kind of split open, so I need to try and work out what on earth I did there. It won't push back in, so whoops. That was lucky. I was worried that was going to be really hard to get off and cause more issues. Oh no! This should just press back in, but still a little bit concerning, isn't it? There we go. Oh, this still stays, and this guy should just go bomb like that. Oh, that would have been really sad if that didn't work. I've never actually ridden these wheels much. The wheels are from a company called Airbike. I purchased them some time ago now. I know people are going to ask about them. They don't sell them anymore, I believe, but the ratchet and the hub on these things are like ridiculous. The engagement is near instant, and they sound well good. So yeah, they seem fine. Right then, let's get some wheels on this bike. Okay.
Oh, come on. Losing my trousers. It's never a good look for the internet. Where's his trousers gone? Well, that's tight. Slash may not even work. Let's get it on first. Try and make any decisions. So you missed a lot of that then because my camera died. It's been such a long time that I actually forgot. I think I struggled to get it on, but it is on. I don't know how much you've actually caught on camera, but it's on. But as you can see, like, if I can focus, like it is the little tassels, little bristles that are on the tyre, these little things, they are rubbing, but the actual tyre is not. Like, it might be okay. Might be. I also added a bit more pink, so I've got a little Juicy Lube sticker on here, and I've had one of these knocking around for a long time, proper crusty sticker. That is one of the old versions, which I thought might be nice for the chainstay to keep it battered. And I also put some handlebars on it. I'm not sure these are going to be. Got stuck on the tripod a little bit there. I don't know if these are going to be the ones I'm going to go with permanently. But it's a decent length stem and fits, and the handlebars, and then yeah, we'll see. And then I think that's you caught up. Oh, I got the BB in there. I wasn't sure if I could get a BB in here, so I needed to try, and I was waiting for my camera to charge, so I did it, and it fits. It's a little bit crunchy. I don't know if you can. It's the only 110 I have, so if this works, I'll order another one and replace it. But for now, we're good.
So now that I've actually ridden the bike a bit, probably does need a new bottom bracket. Bottom brackets aren't too expensive, but you could help me out a little bit if you like and purchase some nice stickers. Seriously though, there's been a few messages recently saying like, why is all the stickers out of stock? I didn't realise that some of them had gone out of stock, but I was wrong. And anybody who's been around long enough knows that that kind of happens often. But I also reordered some as well. So currently my drawer of stickers is pretty much... Ooh, there's a full selection in there. So head over to spray.bike.com and you can see what's available. I've also put a new order in for some more of the bootleg sticker pack that we did. They sold out pretty much straight away, which I was very surprised about. So I've ordered another bunch of those, but I've also added a few extra orders for some of the ones that people really liked. People really liked the little KFC logo with my face on it. So I've ordered extra of those, for example, and things like that. So there's also more stickers down the line. But for anybody who's been asking for, and especially any of the Sable bikes and proper crusty ones, they are still available on the website. This one.
But we're kind of on the home stretch, or at least what I like to call the home stretch, because mainly it's now just adding parts and components to the bike. The only issues really were tyre clearance, whether that would fit, and getting the headset and seat post in. All the trickier things are in. So let's get a crank on. This is a crank that I had on my last 100-mile bike that I rode London with last year, and I really like it. It looks really ratty. The green is probably another colour to add to this bike, but it's a really nice chainring, and it's the one I did it on last time, so I kind of want to keep it on there. So we'll see. You can always change these things over time, but for now, I like it. The chain line is actually not as good as I thought it'd be. But that's probably as good as I can get. We'll worry about that later. We'll let future Craig worry about that. I mean, I've definitely had way worse chain lines work reasonably well, so we'll see. You know what I could do though? I could definitely put a spacer or two behind the cassette. Maybe that's the move. It's quite hard to see. Well, it's probably not hard to see at all. There we go, let's zoom in. The cassette can come over by like quite a bit. So I'm gonna put a spacer behind it and stick it closer to the mech, which will make the chain line better. Not you can tell in the slightest from that, but yeah, like that. Just look. That's more like it. Right then. Now, in theory, that will give us a little bit more space or room for better shifting. What do I do with the Allen key? Can't be trusted. Oh yeah. These wheels, the axle in there is quite snug. I am slightly concerned now that I've made that too tight for the chain. I'm worried it's going to rub on here. So we need to go get a chain and find out. Loads of room. I wonder if this chain actually is going to be long enough. I don't think it is. Might have to look for another one. This is obviously a rubbish way of testing it, but probably not. But anyway, the most important part is there's going to be loads of room for chain in there. I recently used this in a video to check hanger alignment, and I said I didn't know how to use it. I still don't really know how to use it, but a lot of you are very helpful in the comments below and gave me some tips. One of the big ones was choose one section of the wheel to use as your guide. So for example, the valve stem. I think that's pretty good. I mean, I think, like I said, I don't really know what I'm doing. Someone commented the other day saying about the fact that I'm a rubbish mechanic and I should stop teaching people stuff. If you're learning something from my videos, stop it. These aren't educational videos. I do not know what I'm doing. I'm just in my garden messing with bikes, making videos for you to enjoy if you want to. I'm not trying to teach you how to do bikes. I'm learning how as I go along. I should probably say those things over there were from a bike box, and I'm trying to get rid of them at the moment. They're not easy to throw away. I don't think you can recycle them. They're like, it's like black foam. So that's it really. I do like these Advent X mechs. They look quite nice. I had a problem recently with not doing my limit screws before I started messing with it, and I completely forgot. So I'm not doing that again this time. It's definitely not going to go over though, so I think it should be alright. Just double check it though. Yeah, we're good. Might need adjusting, but it's just, yeah. Right, let's go and try that chain. I just remembered as I was going to get that chain again, this, like the length from here to here, I think is roughly the same of the bike that I had it on last, that chain, but I know that this is a lot bigger, so it won't fit, so there's no point messing about with it. So luckily I have this one. It's not a good one, it's from somewhere, but it's the right size, so let's give it a go. Quite like the idea of having a nice shiny silver chain on this bike actually, and that looks sweet. This is good. Sorry, I had to concentrate then. Good. Oh. And quick check to see what it's like. Bottom limit screw needs to be a little bit adjusted. Just a little bit adjusted. It's the wrong one, isn't it? Doi. I can't get up onto that last one. Just tilt that down a little bit, see if that helps. I don't know why I had to put a voice then. There's definite rubbish going on at the moment, so I'm just going to make sure that the wheel is in there properly. I don't think it's completely in on this side, so I'm going to have to flip the bike upside down, do it old school way. Old school way? Backyard way. Right, next up we've got some controls. Massive pause then. I don't know what cable would go for at the moment. I'm wondering if I have some pink, because obviously that would look kind of cool. The hoses for the hydraulics are black, but that's fine. Let's go find some pink. Sunshine, lollipops in. I have no idea why that's in my head. I'm going to do something outrageous, and I'm going to work my way back, or front. Usually I start at the front and work my way back, but I kind of feel I want it this way. Because of reasons. I do like brake routing that goes up instead of underneath. Don't know if it makes much difference. If you know if it makes much difference, pop it in the comments, because I've been intrigued, very interested to know. That's a good little start. Oh, that's nice. Now this is the question here, is which way I go. I feel like the middle is gonna have less stress on the cables. Something like that. Rainbow lollipops in. Should learn some more of those words. Probably got a little less. Or is it? Yeah, that's stop there. Yeah, that's fine. The question of how you do this, one, a lot of it is massively preference, and two, it's massively preference, but I always make sure it's a little bit more than I'd want it, and then I can always adjust it afterwards. More, not less. Start with that, see how I get on. Right, this moment of truth. Is the cable long enough? Oh no! This derailleur has been on another bike, so it has been chopped. I have other cables, it's not a big deal, but I also don't want to waste cables if this one fits perfectly. Which I think we all know it probably won't. I can tell you already it's not going to. It's a big no. But I like that. I think that'll be good. Right, let's go and find another cable. Sunshine lollipops. And we have cable. Whew. These are my favourite pedals. They're DMR V8s. These are the version 2s. I've had some classics knocking them out as well, which I've always loved. But these are slightly more modern retro pedals, essentially, which big fan of. I also have some fluoro ones. I was gonna put the silver ones on, which I think makes total sense. But I can't help but want to put these on. I may regret it and take them off, but I also kind of want to put them on. I know. I know. Oh. You'll never be able to hear it in a million years because the hub's so loud, but it's a little noisy, but I think it'll be all right. So we need to do tinkering, turn up fire. Right, but before we do that, those tyres are going to keep smashing my hands up if I keep grabbing them like that, so let's do some brakes. I've just noticed though, the front brake doesn't have a mount. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nice brake mount. Do I have a mount? Not really sure why, but my audio went really weird at this point, so I've lost lots of the commentary that I was doing. But yes, I did find a mount. It was on a very crusty looking bike, so that's why it looks really crusty, but I kind of like the way it looks and it will still work, so it's fine. But I mounted the front brake. The cable was, or the hose was maybe slightly too short. I may have to replace the hose at some point, but it's fine. At this point, I also realised I don't really have any bolts to go in, but I did find these ones that I probably got on, I don't know, Amazon, AliExpress, somewhere. I don't know how good they are, but they seem alright. At this point you may be wondering why I'm zip tying the hose onto the frame and why I didn't get any hose mounts brazed on, and simply the fact that I saw a bike somewhere on the internet that had the hoses all zip tied on, and I thought that looks proper crusty and kind of cool and my style, so that's why basically. But once the brakes were on, I could then go back to dialing in the derailleur and get it all indexed in and feeling nice and shifty. These Advent X derailleurs, cassette and shifter are probably one of the most forgiving group sets that I've used. They work really, really well, and if everything's not quite aligned, which is often what happens on these retro bikes, they still work, and they don't drop chains. They're really, really good. Highly rate them. So to finish up, we added a little bit extra pink, which is these Def grips, which are by far my favorite grips at the moment. I haven't used anything else, but that's it. It's time to take a look at it.
And there we have it. Usually, if this is your first video or you've joined us for the first time with this video, usually I have some very nice B-roll of the bike when I finish it, take it somewhere nice, take some videos, blah blah blah. But with this bike, this wasn't its final form. I wanted to build it up as quickly as I could so that it was ready for my group ride, which will be in a future video. But I was waiting for some parts. Those parts actually ended up arriving, I think, 2 days after I finished this. So I ended up riding this round the block like it is right now. I took these photos that I actually sent to Toasty Rides just because I like sending Toasty some photos of my bikes just as I finished them. He gets a little bit of behind the scenes stuff, sorry about that. And that was it. I literally then took it apart and started doing some other bits. To answer the question of what parts I'm waiting for, I actually picked up some forks and handlebars from Edson. Edson are these guys here. I say these guys, it is just one dude in Indonesia who makes the nicest segmented forks by hand, and then also some really nice bars, which I imagine I'm spoiling right now by putting them on the screen for you. These, like I say, I ordered these for this bike, and I was blown away by how quickly they came, and I managed to get them on the bike ready for the group ride, which was super exciting. So the next video will be finishing the touches on this bike, and yeah, I think that's it. If you are new to this video, we do make bike content every single week. I am slowly upping the amount of videos we do each week as well, so lock in for that. But if you do like this sort of stuff and you don't subscribe to the channel, that is the button to press to subscribe to the channel. And if you can't wait for the next one, that one there is a particularly good one.